Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. You are listening to the Mari Mukonda Show on Salam Media. Global warming and air pollution have something in common: their effects on human health. Air pollution is a well known cause of breathing problems. Evidence suggests that respiratory illness is increasing in South Africa. In fact, one study found that about 6%, or rather 5% more children and adolescents suffered from asthma in 2002 than in 2005. One of the causes of that increase is poor air quality. Now, to talk more about this topic is environmental activist Ncobile Nkosi. Ncobile, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. And yourself?
I'm good.
All right. First of all, there has been various reports of a sulfur-like smell in parts of Gauteng.
Yes.
Now, people were just talking about the sulfur smell, but some of us didn't really quite understand what were we really smelling. So can you please describe to us what was the sulfur-like smell? And perhaps we did smell it, but we couldn't really tell what it was.
Okay, so it smells almost like a spoiled egg, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is that we had a tropical low from Mozambique in the past week, right, in that week. So what happened is that low actually caused the wind to just move, met up with a high pressure system. I'm trying to be just down-tone my language.
Mm-hmm.
So it met up with the high pressure system and then created wind, right? So the wind actually blew the smell from large industries in the low field towards the high field. That's how it reached housing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what actually happened.
Oh, all right. So now, because of that, did it affect people in any way, or can it affect people in any way?
Okay, so the thing with air pollution is that for it to actually have a severe impact on your health, you have to be exposed to very high concentrations, and then you have to be exposed for probably a long period of time, so that it actually has a negative impact on your health, like a significant impact, right? But most people were saying that they were having headaches and they were feeling dizzy, and so I was just following that on Twitter. But the thing is, we have this hydrogen sulfide. Actually, does not have that much impact on human health. But then we do have other pollutants that actually have significant impact on human health. So these pollutants, we call them criteria pollutants, right? Mm-hmm. So the problem of air quality in South Africa has been going on for a very long time. I was just surprised that why is it that when it affects housing, that's when we actually start talking about it. But then it has been affecting other people in low-income residential areas, in living mostly in Mpumalanga and in the Vaal Triangle area and in the Bujanala district. Mm-hmm. And we don't talk about it much, but it has been going on for a long time, and it's actually extreme in winter. So these pollutants that we actually should be worried about, it's not the one that actually the housing residents are actually having a bad smell experience with. Mm-hmm. So we have particulate matter. That one has significant impact on human health. And then we have ozone also has a significant, and we have carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide. The thing with these pollutants that I'm actually naming now, you can't smell them, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, we have weather stations, air quality stations in South Africa. That actually it's a network that actually measures the concentrations of the current of these pollutants that I was naming just now. Yeah. And then if you go online and you type National Air Quality Information System, it will take you to the Department of Environmental Affairs website, and then take you so that you can see wherever you are now, you can just see it and say, okay, what is the level of concentration in the town that I'm in now? It's like real-time data, right? Mm-hmm. So we have good infrastructure in South Africa that actually measures these. We should actually be. In summary, I was just saying that the hydrogen sulfide that we were smelling in Joburg does not have that much significant impact on human health when compared to the ones that I was just talking about now.
All right.
And
Okay.
for the fact that it was for a short period of time, and it's summer now, so there's a lot of sitting production going up and down. So the air gets diluted as it moves, right? So
Mhm.
probably the housing residents the smell they experience was not that much of high concentration. So the smell does not indicate the concentration of the actual pollutant. It's just a smell.
All right. Okay. Well, that sets our minds at ease a little, knowing that we don't have to worry a little. But
Yes,
obviously, we do have something to worry about because of the poor air quality. Or is
yes.
the air quality in South Africa good?
No. To be
Hmm.
honest, no. So it's not. It's poor, and there's areas where it's actually very bad. Like for example, the Bar Triangle area,
Yeah.
the air quality there is poor, and the people have suffered severe uh, health impact because of this. And also the Waterberg area, in the Bujanada district, is also not has poor air quality, and in Mpumalanga Highveld as well. We have those are the major areas that are the ones that I'm naming now that actually have poor air quality in South Africa. There was an article by the Greenpeace, I think 2019, that named South African Highveld the second major pollutant for sulfur dioxide
Mhm.
in the world.
Yeah, I remember that article. In fact, I
Yeah.
did interview I forgot her name, but yeah, I did speak to her about that. I mean, you can just imagine South Africa having that largest radiation
Right.
in the world.
So the thing that worries us is that, okay, fine, we're producing so much electricity from fossil fuels, but then our economy is not that developed. That's the question. That's what leaves the question mark. If you look in China, okay, fine, they're producing, right, but their economy is good. What about what's missing between South Africa and China? Because we also almost emitting the same, but then our economy is not that developed as it is in China. This industrial revolution, where did we go wrong with ours?
Mm-hmm. All right.
So that's
I read something somewhere that this has more to do with our economy and the energy prices. Is this a problem that we need to look into, and not just the industrial pollution that we normally think of as a contributor to air pollution?
yes, yes. So I'm gonna explain now.
Yes,
So
please.
now we have electricity, right? But then and then okay, the South Africa government actually recognized that, okay, fine. One of the major problems we had with the low-income residents in our country, they didn't have electricity way back, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
just put up infrastructure to set up the electricity grid in all low-income residential areas. For myself as well, I was from a place that did not have electricity, but now we have it. But the problem is these people, they have the electricity is actually there, but they don't have access to it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's expensive. So if you keep the prices of electricity high, then these people continue to use solid fuels like coal, wood,
Mm-hmm.
because they can't afford to actually buy the electricity. And okay, the dangers with domestic burning. So we call that domestic burning when people use coal, and the problem with it is that the emissions from these fossil fuels, they occur at the breathing level. For instance, if you have a chimney and then you have from a household and you have a stack from an industry area, right? So you most likely to be exposed to the one from your chimney at home because it's at your breathing level.
Mm-hmm.
The second problem with domestic burning is that the stoves that the people use, they're not checked, they're probably old, and they're not efficient, right? So they actually lead to more incomplete combustion. So what happens when you have incomplete combustion? We have more pollutants coming out, not completely combusted. That means there's more pollution from domestic burning. But whereas in industrial areas, I'm not defending. I'm just saying, whereas there's regulations, they have to clean up. But then we don't see that there's also another sector that contributes. For instance, the transport sector, what's the thing, also contributes to poor air quality in South Africa because maybe of the road infrastructure that we have. So what we need to do, we need to look at all the other sectors that actually contribute towards poor air quality in South Africa. And one, if I can say out of my head, what is the major cause of air quality in South Africa? I can say you can find industrial areas, domestic burning, I can say waste burning, I can say transport sector, emissions from cars, I can say dust is one of the other factors. So we have to look at all of them holistically and try. And the major cause is poverty. Because even if you can produce so much electricity, if the people cannot afford to buy it, it's futile.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to think about that, and we have to empower people so that they can be able to actually buy the electricity. That's how we have to solve it with integrated interventions. Even the houses, we have the RTP houses, right? So South Africa has these RTP houses, but then RTP houses, some of them are built from poor material. They're not temperature efficient, right? Oh my God, okay. They're not temperature efficient. So this means that in winter, it's cold, it's very cold in the houses. So now these residents that live in these houses, they have to burn coal to keep themselves warm, right? So that's another cause towards the problem.
All right. Ncobile, what can we do in order to improve the quality of our air? Just quickly in a minute.
Okay. So what we need to do, we need to shift. I'm not saying we have to shift blame from only industries. First thing, we have to identify all the sources and actually work towards interventions to solve the main cause of which is poverty. I think if we were to address poverty in low-income residential areas, we will slightly improve our air quality. And also we have to, because of that, now the people can actually afford to buy electricity, and then we have a better ambient air quality where people live. Right? So I think we have to address the issue is poverty and many other things, but the main source is poverty. If we tackle poverty and the inequality in our country, that'll be great.
Yeah, that would be great indeed. And we have a long way to go before we can tackle the issue of poverty, which is leading to other issues in the country. And as we've just learned yesterday, that the unemployment rate has increased to 32.5%, which now makes the situation a little bit more detrimental. But thank you so much for your time, Ncobile, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was environmental activist Ncobile Nkosi talking about the air quality in South Africa and some of the unknown factors that contribute to air pollution. We do have a long way to go as a country, but you can't tell people who cannot afford electricity that they should stop burning wood and whatever else they used to burn in order to cook, because they are just trying to cook, to prepare a meal for themselves and for their kids. So, yeah, once again, we do have a long way to go as a country. Do stay with us. We will be right back after the break, chatting to